Respect. It's one of the most powerful forces in the world. You can't buy it. You can't beg for it. And you definitely can't demand it. Yet deep down, every human being craves it. We want to walk into a room and feel seen, heard, valued. But here's the twist. Most people go about it the wrong way. They talk too much, too loud. They dominate conversations. They try to act tough or overly confident. And you know what happens? People pull away. They may smile to your face, but deep inside, they're not impressed. Because real respect doesn't come from being the loudest in the room. It comes from being the one who doesn't need to be loud at all. In this video, you're going to learn something different, something deeper, how to earn respect without raising your voice, without being rude, without pretending to be someone you're not. You're about to discover the kind of power that doesn't need permission, the type of strength that speaks in silence, the kind of presence that commands attention without asking for it. And the best part, you already have this power inside you. You've just been distracted by the noise. We live in a world that glorifies attention. Everyone wants to be noticed. But being noticed and being respected, those are two different things. Notice fades. Respect sticks. The people you truly admire, the ones who walk into a room and instantly shift the energy. They're not chasing attention. They're centered, they're calm, and they know who they are. In this video, you'll learn how to become one of them. We'll talk about the small habits that build deep respect over time. We'll go beyond the surface and uncover the psychology behind presence. You'll see how to protect your energy, how to set silent boundaries, and how to speak in a way that makes people stop and listen. And no, this isn't about being cold or distant. This is about quiet strength. It's about moving with intention. It's about becoming someone others naturally look up to. Not because you ask for it, but because that's how you carry yourself. Imagine this. You walk into a room, you say very little, but eyes turn toward you. Not because you're flashy, not because you're trying, but because there's something different about you. Something grounded, unshakable. That's what we're unlocking today. You'll understand why staying calm in heated moments earns more respect than winning an argument. Why walking away from nonsense doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Why speaking less, but with clarity, leaves a deeper impact than endless talking. Most people waste their energy trying to impress. They overshare, overreact, over-explain. But the truth is, the more noise you make, the less power you hold. Because power doesn't yell, it whispers. And when you stop needing to prove yourself, that's when you become unstoppable. There's something magnetic about someone who knows their worth, but doesn't need to shout it. Someone who can say no, without guilt. Who can walk away from chaos, without looking back. Someone who commands respect, without being rude, just by being real. So ask yourself, are you tired of being overlooked? Are you done with feeling like people don't take you seriously? Have you had enough of biting your tongue, or exploding in frustration because you just want people to respect you? Good. Because today is the Today, you stop trying to be liked by everyone, and start being respected by the right ones. We'll talk about how your tone, your pace, and even your silence send messages before your words do. You'll learn how to become emotionally disciplined, so people can trust your reaction. You'll see how to protect your time, your peace, and your space, without coming off rude or aggressive. And it all starts with one decision, to stop chasing respect, and start embodying it. This video isn't filled with cheesy tricks or fake confidence hacks. No fluff, no nonsense, just real, proven principles that actually work, backed by psychology, human behavior, and hard-earned wisdom. Watch till the end, because the final point in this video is the one that most people overlook. Yet it holds the key to building lifelong respect in every relationship you have. So sit back, take a deep breath, and get ready to rediscover your quiet power. Respect doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from knowing better. And by the time this video ends, Before we talk about how to earn respect without being rude, let's get clear on one thing. The truth about respect itself. Respect isn't something people hand out just because you ask for it. It's not a free gift. It's something that's earned, slowly and quietly, through your actions, not your words. Some people think being loud or dominant forces others to respect them, but all that really does is push people away. Respect doesn't grow in noise. It grows in stillness. It grows in consistency. It's not about how much money you have, what title you hold, or how you look on the outside. Sure, those things might get your attention, but attention is temporary. Respect is different. Respect is what people feel for you even when you're not in the room. It's what they say about you when you're not around. It's built over time, and it's built through presence. Presence doesn't mean being the center of the room. It means being grounded. It means when you speak, you mean it. When you listen fully. People respect someone who doesn't always need to speak to be heard. Someone who doesn't try to impress, but naturally stands out. And then there are boundaries. Respect is deeply tied to how you protect your space. If you let people walk all over you, you're teaching them that it's okay. If you always say yes when you want to say no, you're slowly erasing your own value. Setting boundaries isn't rude, it's healthy. It shows that you know your worth, and how you carry yourself, your posture, your tone, your habits. Those things speak louder than anything else. If you walk into a room with your head down, rushing to please everyone, people feel that. But if you move with quiet confidence, even if you say nothing, people notice. They may not even know why, but they'll feel it. Respect isn't about being feared or controlling others. It's about having control over yourself. It's about showing up with calm strength and a clear sense of who you are. Because once you believe in your own value, the world starts to reflect that belief back to you. Before we talk about the words you use or the tone you speak in, let's talk about something even more powerful: how you react when everything goes wrong. Because whether you realize it or not, people are always watching how you carry yourself, especially under pressure. Anyone can be calm when life is easy, when things are going your way, when no one is pushing your buttons. It's simple to smile and stay composed. But the real test of strength, the real test of character, comes when things fall apart. That's when people decide whether they respect you or not. In moments of conflict, most people explode. They yell, they panic, they blame. But the person who stays calm, who keeps their voice steady and their posture grounded, stands out. That's the person people remember. That's the person people turn to. Because calmness in chaos signals one thing: control. Not control over others, control over yourself. When you don't react with anger, when you don't let your emotions take over, you show a different kind of power, a quiet kind, a stronger kind. You show that you are not ruled by the outside world. You show that your peace is not so easy to steal. This doesn't mean you let people disrespect you. It means you respond, not react. You think before you speak. You choose your words. You pause before you act. That pause alone, the moment you take to breathe instead of break, can change everything. Calm people make better decisions. Calm people are trusted in leadership. Calm people are harder to manipulate. Why? Because when you're calm, you're clear. You don't say things you'll regret. You don't hand over your power. You stay steady, even when the ground shakes. People respect that deeply. They may not say it out loud, but they notice. They notice when you keep your cool in an argument. They notice when you stay silent instead of feeding drama. They notice when you hold your ground without raising your voice. That kind of self-control earns more respect than any loud demand ever could. Because calmness isn't weakness, it's silent strength. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need to be loud to be felt. Before we talk about how to speak with power, let's be honest about one thing. Most people talk too much. They speak just to fill silence. They talk to feel important. They talk hoping to be liked, or to sound smart. But in reality, the more you talk just to talk, the more you lose people's attention. You start sounding unsure. You start repeating yourself, and you give away your power without even knowing it. Real confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't ramble. It doesn't try to impress. Real confidence speaks with clarity, with calm, and with purpose. People who speak less are often heard more. Why? Because when they do speak, People listen. Their words carry weight. They don't waste time trying to be liked. They speak only when it matters. You don't need to explain every detail. You don't need to defend every decision. You don't owe people a long speech to prove your point. Instead, choose your words. Pause before you speak. Think about what really needs to be said. Then say it, simply and clearly. That pause alone makes people respect you more. It shows you're not just reacting, you're thinking. Short sentences, direct language, no fluff. That's the language of someone who knows what they're talking about. When you say less, every word hits harder. You don't need to be poetic or clever. You just need to be real. Say what you mean what you say, then stop. People respect those who don't overshare. They trust those who don't oversell. When you speak with restraint, you appear more focused, more grounded. It shows that you're not desperate for approval. It shows you're in control not just of your words, but of your emotions. It also keeps you out of unnecessary trouble. When you talk too much, you reveal too much. You give people room to twist your words, or misunderstand your meaning. But when your message is clear and simple, there's no confusion, just truth. And here's something powerful. Silence, used right, is a tool. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can say is nothing. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need the last word. In fact, walking away quietly often earns more respect than staying in a pointless conversation just to win. Before we talk about how to be respected, let's talk about something most people struggle with: setting boundaries. Not in anger, not with attitude, just with calm clarity. You don't have to raise your voice to draw a line. You don't need to argue or defend yourself, just to say no. In fact, the most powerful boundaries are quiet. They don't come with drama, they come with certainty. People often feel guilty when they set limits. They feel like they're being rude or selfish. But the truth is, having boundaries is not disrespectful. It's responsible. It's how you protect your time, your energy, and your mental peace. Think of it like a fence around the house, not to push people away, but to show where your space begins and ends. Without that fence, people will walk all over your garden without meaning to. Not because they're bad, but because they don't know where the line is. That's why you must be clear, not emotional, just clear. When you don't want to do something, say no. Don't give 5 reasons. Don't go into a full story. Just say it calmly and move on. The more you explain, the more it sounds like you're asking for permission. But you're not. You're making a choice, and that choice deserves respect. Be firm, not harsh. You can say something strong without saying it with force. You can speak with kindness and still hold your ground. That balance, soft tone, strong boundary, is what makes people stop and take you seriously. It may feel uncomfortable at first. People might push. They might expect the old version of you, the one who always said yes, the one who always made time, the one who stayed quiet to keep the peace. But you're not that person anymore. And if you want people to respect you, you have to start respecting yourself first. Your peace matters. Your time matters. And when you start acting like it, others will too. Boundaries don't push people away. They teach people how to treat you. And the ones who truly care about you, they'll adjust. The ones who don't, well, they were never really for you anyway. Before we talk about how to build respect, let's look at one habit that quietly destroys it: chasing approval. It's one of the fastest ways to lose control of your life, your voice, and your self-worth. And most people don't even realize they're doing it. You try to say the right thing, wear the right clothes, post the right picture. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with things you don't believe in, all because you don't want to upset anyone. You don't want to be left out. You want to be liked. But here's the truth. Trying to please everyone is a losing game. You can't win it. No matter how kind, how helpful, or how careful you are, someone will still criticize you. Someone will still misunderstand you. Someone will always expect more. The harder you try to be accepted by everyone, the more you disconnect from yourself. You start making choices based on what others want, not what you want. You silence your real thoughts, just to keep the peace. You begin to shrink, slowly, quietly, and after a while, you don't even recognize the person in the mirror. That's not strength. That's self-abandonment.
People don't respect those who always bend. They may use you, they may rely on you, but deep down they don't value you. Because if you don't respect your own boundaries, why should they? Respect begins when you stop asking for permission to be yourself. When you stop needing people to clap for every decision you make. When you stop explaining every no, and apologizing for your truth. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to become cold. You just need to stand still. Be honest. Let people respond however they want. Let them come to you. Let them choose to stay, or walk away. That's their choice. But your job is to stop chasing and start leading. And here's the power in that. When you stop trying so hard to be liked, the right people start noticing you. Not the ones who want to control you. Not the ones who need you to play small. But the ones who respect you for who you actually are. Let them come. Let them stay because they choose to, not because you begged them to. Before we talk about how to be respected by others, let's talk about how you treat your own energy. Because if you don't protect it, people will drain it intentionally or not. Your energy is your power. It affects how you think, how you speak, and how you show up in every moment. And when it gets wasted on nonsense, your confidence fades, your clarity disappears, and your self-worth starts to slip. You don't have to argue with everyone who misunderstands you. You don't need to stay in rooms where you're not valued. You don't need to prove yourself to people who don't even see you. That's emotional exhaustion, and you can't afford it. Every time you engage in drama, gossip, or petty conflict, you're handing over your peace to someone else. They win, and you lose every time. You don't need to make an announcement. You don't need a scene. All you need to do is walk away, quietly, calmly, with your dignity intact. That silence, it's louder than any speech. It tells people that your energy is sacred, that you don't entertain disrespect, that you are unavailable for anything that drains your focus, or poisons your peace. Not everything deserves a reaction. Some people are looking for chaos. They feed on attention, even if it's negative. The moment you react, you give them what they want. But when you respond with silence, with stillness, with a calm exit, they're left empty. And in that emptiness, they realize something. You're not to be played with. Protecting your energy doesn't mean shutting everyone out. It means being selective. You don't have to be cold. You just have to be clear. Choose who gets your time. Choose what gets your attention. Not everything is worth your voice, your thoughts, or your presence. You've got goals. You've got peace to protect. You've got a vision that's bigger than temporary arguments or foolish games. Don't let small people pull you into small circles. Your silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. And when you carry yourself with quiet strength, people notice. They start to think twice before they disrespect you. Not because you yelled, but because you didn't have to. Before we talk about the words coming out of your mouth, let's talk about something even louder, your body language. Because before you say a single word, people are already forming opinions about you. They read your posture. They notice how you walk. They pick up on your energy, whether you realize it or not. Your body speaks before your mouth does, and it tells the truth. Think about it. When someone walks into a room with their shoulders back, head held high, and eyes steady, you feel something different. You sense confidence. You sense control. Now imagine someone walking in with slouched shoulders, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting, shrinking into themselves. That sends a completely different message. It says, I'm unsure. I don't feel strong. And people treat you based on those signals. So stand tall. Literally, keep your back straight. Your shoulders relaxed but firm. This doesn't just change how others see you. It changes how you feel about yourself. Good posture tells your brain, I'm in control. It lifts your energy. It sharpens your focus. It builds presence. And eye contact. It's powerful. You don't need to stare anyone down. But don't avoid their gaze either. Looking someone in the eye while you speak shows confidence, honesty, and strength. It makes your words land deeper. It shows that you're not hiding, not intimidated, not unsure of what you're saying. Cut out the nervous habits, the tapping fingers, the shifting feet, the constant checking of your phone. These little movements may seem harmless, but they signal anxiety, insecurity, and lack of control. And the people around you will pick up on that energy, even if they don't say it out loud. Stillness has power. When you're calm, composed and grounded in your body, people feel safer around you. They respect your presence more. Body language is silent, but it's never ignored. It's a form of communication you're always using, whether you mean to or not. And the good news, you can train it. Practice standing with confidence. Practice walking with purpose. Practice staying still when you speak. These small adjustments create big shifts in how people see you, and in how you see yourself. Before we talk about how others see you, let's talk about what you do when no one's watching, because that's where respect really begins. Not in your words but in your actions. And the simplest way to build lasting respect: keep your word. It sounds basic, obvious even, but most people fail at it. They make promises they don't keep. They commit to things they never intend to follow through on. They say, "I'll call you back," and never do. They say, "I'll be there," but they're always late. And every time that happens, even in small ways, trust is broke. People don't respect words. They respect consistency. They respect people who say something, and then actually do it. Not because they had to, not because someone reminded them, but because it's who they are. A person who honors their word is a person who earns quiet, steady respect from everyone around them. Being on time is a part of that. It shows that you value other people's time as much as your own. When you're consistently late, you send a message that your time matters more than theirs. Even if that's not your intention, that's how it feels. But when you show up on time early, even, you communicate discipline, responsibility and self-respect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. No excuses. No explanation. Just action. Let your reliability become your reputation. Let people think of you as the one who follows through. Because in a world full of empty promises, that makes you rare. And being rare makes you respected. Follow through isn't just for others. It's for you too. Every time you keep your word, you build self-trust. You prove to yourself that you're dependable, that your words mean something. And that quiet confidence of knowing you can count on yourself shows up in everything you do. People trust those who deliver. They remember the ones who don't make a big deal about it, who don't brag, who just show up and do what they said they would do. That's how you build respect. Not through speeches, not through flash, but through steady, simple action. Before we talk about how to get respect from others, let's talk about something that takes even more strength: giving it first. It sounds simple, but in moments where emotions are high, egos are triggered, and patience runs low, showing respect can feel almost impossible. That's exactly why it matters so much. When you choose to respect someone, even when they don't agree with you, even when they're being difficult, you rise above the noise. You show that your character isn't controlled by their behavior. You show that your standards are set from within, not by the mood of the room or the tone of someone else's voice. That's real strength. Quiet strength. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything but still changes everything. Giving respect doesn't mean being weak. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means holding yourself to a higher level. You speak with calm, not with spite. You choose patience over sarcasm. You listen without waiting to interrupt. You walk away instead of exploding. These actions don't make you soft. They make you solid. Respecting others teaches people how to treat you. You set the tone. You decide what kind of energy surrounds you. If you're quick to judge, people will judge you back. If you interrupt, they'll interrupt you. But if you treat people with dignity, even when it's hard, they feel, they mirror it. Not always right away, but over time, your behavior creates the standard. People watch how you treat the ones who can't do anything for you. The waiter, the janitor, the stranger on the street. If you show kindness there, they know it's real. It's not it's not earned. It's who you are. And that's the kind of respect that builds reputation. Quiet, steady, deep. Even when someone doesn't deserve your respect, give it. Not for them, but for you. Because when you act from a place of peace, you stay in control. You don't let anger define your words. You don't let pride guide your actions. You rise above. And in doing so you become someone others not only notice, but someone they remember. So here's the truth. Earning respect doesn't require being rude, loud or aggressive. It's about how you carry yourself. how you speak, how you listen, how you protect your energy, and how you treat others. Respect is built through calm strength, not chaos, through quiet confidence, not attention seeking. When you stop chasing approval, when you start setting clear boundaries, when you keep your word and walk with purpose, people notice, not because you force them to, but because your presence speaks louder than your voice ever could. If this video helped shift your mindset, give it a like. It really supports the channel. And if you want more content that helps you grow stronger, wiser, and more focused every day, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Your quiet power is your greatest strength.